This month I've got a nice new bit of kit to have a play with, the Prozis track cutter. Okay, let's have a quick look inside the box, and we have some instructions. That's quite nice, telling us what all the bits are, and a power supply. That's going to be handy because this is powered, and what looks like some spare cutting discs, and then the device itself. Now it's I believe like a sort of chop saw for model makers. So what I'll do is I'll plug it in, get it set up, and we'll give it a go. Here we go, all set up, and by set up I mean I've plugged the power in there. So what have we got? Well, we've got a plastic base with a unit that swivels up and down. And there's the spinny dangerous thing is there, and quite handily it's hidden underneath a clear plastic cover that should keep you a little bit safe. I don't think it's a bad idea to wear a pair of safety glasses as well when using power tools like this, though, just to be on the safe side in case bits go flying everywhere. There's a couple of slidey holder things, and one of which can be rotated so you can cut at different angles. All in all, it looks pretty simple. So let's give it a go and see how well it works. I'll slide a piece of track under there. This is, I think, code 75 Pico. So nothing particularly special, and I'll grip it between the two slidey things, which I'm probably have a technical name, and we'll switch the power on and wonder why nothing happens. There we go. Oh, I see. What I wasn't expecting was that as you raise the cutting piece up, it switches itself off, so you can't get your finger stuck on there when it's whirling round. That's quite neat. So it gets down to about there and switches itself back on again. Now that's quite a nice safety feature. Anyway, what have we got? We have a rather nicely cut bit of track. Now normally when you cut things with a saw you end up with burrs, but there's no burrs on that. That is pretty much ready to go. You could get a fish plate on there without any difficulty whatsoever. So that's all quite neat and nifty. We can obviously cut track at an angle, as far as I can tell by turning this. There we are. If I want to cut track at an angle, do the nut up. Now you can't use the bottom slidey thing, so you've got to do it. Got to be a bit more careful, but there we go. And there we have it, track cut at an angle. That's all very good. Now, you may say to yourself, well, why don't you use a pair of little Xuron cutters or something, because they'd be a lot cheaper. And I'm not kidding, they would be a lot cheaper than this. This current price is about £85, and Xuron track cutters are about 17 to 20. So, yes, there are cheaper ways of cutting track, but this will cut more than just track. A quick look at the website, and they also recommend it for cutting other materials. Certainly it'll cut brass, and apparently it'll cut wood, so let's give it a go. Now that's an interesting problem. We have cut the wood, but not all the way through, because the cutting part is whacking on the thickness of the wood. So a thinner piece of wood, or cutting a little further back. Let's have another go. There we are. Yes, it is possible to get there. I think a little bit of practice is required, and also there does seem to be plenty of safety cutouts that if the disc gets jammed, it stops. But that is quite a nice, neat bevel going on there. So, as well as cutting your track, although it says it's a track cutter, it's obviously a much more general purpose tool. Now, you could say it's quite an expensive way to cut track, but if you're building a club layout and there's lots of track that needs cutting, then it may well be a very economic tool, because the track gets cut very neatly and you can progress with the builds quite fast. Certainly shared between a group of modelers, you know, you can probably all find enough use for perhaps a quarter of a tool. So split it between 4 of you, and it immediately comes down to not far off the price of the handheld cutters. Is it an essential tool? I think almost certainly not. Is it a nice tool or a handy tool to have? Then yes, it is, because certainly cutting neatly, and not only neatly across that way, but an absolutely vertical cut does make a lot of modelling easier. So there we go. Prose's cutting tool gets a bit of a thumbs up from me, and certainly it'll be part of my modelling toolkit to come. Happy modelling.